Hey everyone, it's Serge from SN3 Gaming. Today I'm just going to give you a brief look at some of my sim racing equipment. I've decided that I'm just going to go make a few videos like this, similar, of various sim racing equipment and some other items, other computer items. I'm not going to do like a full in-depth review or give you any reviews or anything. There are actually a lot of YouTubers out there that have some great reviews that I would definitely suggest checking out if you are considering getting into sim racing. Boosted Media being one of the first, Dave Cam, OC Racing, Sim Racing Corner, Sim Racing Garage, and Carl Gosling, just to name a few. There's some great ones that you can check out, and some of them will go very deep into the equipment. They'll take things apart to show the details, and then there's a few others who are very casual about their reviews. So definitely worth looking into if you're thinking about that. Today's video, I'm gonna just talk about my wheelbase that I've been using for the past, I guess I want to say 3 months now, the Fanatec CSL DD. And I'm also gonna briefly talk about the rim that I've been using the most, as well as the Club Sports Universal Hub V2. Let's talk about the wheelbase first. The wheelbase I have had since, of course, I want to say May. It's Fanatec's version. It's Fanatec's wheelbase. It's a great company. They are based out of Germany, I believe, and yep, they're mostly just dedicated to sim racing. And this has been a really great purchase for me. I was considering, well, there's two versions of this wheelbase, and I'll show you over here. I have it on screen. So as you can see, there's the CSL DD Pro and then the CSL DD. Now what's the difference between them? Well, the DD Pro works on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. The CSL DD only works for PC and Xbox. Reason being is more of the internals thing than anything. The DD Pro is programmed internally on the wheelbase for it to work for the PlayStation. The DD does not, because Xbox utilizes like hubs instead, the universal hub or whatever wheel has the equipment there. So there's two unique different items to make it for that. Of course, I haven't tested the theory about using whether or not I wanted to use if maybe a Brook connector could work, which I've seen Brook work on other wheels on consoles, so I'm sure something like that would work here. But I haven't messed with that, and I don't know if I will with this wheelbase. I was originally planning on getting the DD Pro, but at the time it's sold out. So instead I went ahead and just got the CSL DD. At that time it wasn't sold out, it was available, and I wanted, in reality, and then this was kind of a pipe dream. I wanted to get another PlayStation 5 and hook it up to the rig and see if I can have like Gran Turismo 7 on triple screens, but I don't think that's gonna happen, and I don't think PlayStation is capable of doing that, and I don't know if they will. So I was like, all right, well, maybe then if I get the Pro, I'll take it off the base here and switch and grab like and get a new wheel stand. I'm not going to remove this anytime soon. This took a while to mount, and if I plan on removing it, it's either because I'm sending it to Fanatec for repairs, heaven forbid that happens, or I'm replacing it with an upgrade, and that's probably not going to be for a few years. So I'm going to keep that here, and it's not going anywhere. Maybe one day I'll get a DD Pro just to use for a console and then play Gran Turismo 7 again, but I'm in no rush. I do have Gran Turismo 7, but I'm still not quite happy where it is right now, and also they don't have my car still, which I own a Dodge Challenger. It's only the SXT version, so it's like the low tier, but it's, you know, I still want to like drive something that's like my car, which would more than likely be the Dodge Demon or the Dodge Challenger Demon or the Hellcat Red Eye. But for now, that's not gonna happen. For the wheelbase, of course this is direct drive. Now pretty much all Thrustmaster and Logitech, they're all belt driven or gear based. The one I had before, the Thrustmaster T248, that was a hybrid. It was both belt driven and gear driven, but when it comes to direct drive, oh man, like there's no going back, in my opinion. You can get the feel of the wheel a lot better when you're driving on a track. You'll feel the track way more. To me, it's just something that I'm like, wow, like as soon as I was driving it, as soon as I first got on a track, I was just like, oh my god, like where has this been all my life? The wheelbase, it's originally a 5 Nm of torque wheelbase, but if you get the boost kit, that adds 3 more, and yeah, so 3 more. Sorry, I had to like do math in my head. It's been a long day. It's a hot day today, so that's why I bought a fan here. So here's my fan. I haven't tried it out yet, but man, it's been really hot here. Like in the DMV area, I think we're in the mid 90s. And for those who don't know who the DMV is, that is DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. And so I'm in that area, and yeah, it's been mid to high 90s degree Fahrenheit. I can't think of what that is in Celsius on my mind, so I apologize to all of my non-US audience. I'll try my best to have something that'll quickly show me that. But if you guys can Google that, and you'll see how hot it is. Now, what is the boost kit? Well, the boost kit is just a power supply right here. You can see my helmet. So that little guy, that chunky power supply is the boost kit, and it's a size difference. The other power supply is to one of my monitors. So I would consider this power supply the equivalent to like a laptop power supply, a gaming laptop power supply, something that has like a 20 series. Like I had a 20. My first gaming laptop was an RTX 2070, and it had a similar size power supply like that. So yeah, that's the boost kit. The boost kit is about 150 more, as you can see over here. So it was $500, which is another reason why I was glad I didn't get the Pro instead of that. I mean, yeah, I was glad I got the D. Oh my god, I'm sorry again. It's why I got the CSL DD instead of the Pro, because the DD was $100 less. And now, if you want just the 5 Nm, it's $350. Now, if you're that's $150 difference for just a power supply. I'm kind of not a fan of Fanatec doing that, and a lot of people will also argue with that too. We'll say that as well. I know there are ways you can create like your own. You can get a power supply that's similar. All you need to do is find the voltage, and then you're gonna have to splice up some wires to put it in with the right connector. That's something I didn't do. I actually went ahead and just bought it with the 8 Nm boost kit. I kind of would be worried to do something like that, as that could, you know, if something got damaged, or, you know, if something happened to my wheelbase and I'm under warranty, and Fanatec wants me to send everything, you know, they're gonna see that that power supply is not right, and they're gonna just do something. So, not something I would do. If you want to go for it, more than welcome to, but just not for me. So that's one of my negatives, is, you know, the whole idea of having to spend $150 for just a power supply. Otherwise, yeah, I can't think of a lot of negative things for that. You know, it's very quiet. The only noise that happens is from the quick connects. I think the spring will sometimes like make a chatter noise when I hit something. But other than that, yeah, you're not gonna hear like the whirling sounds that you hear from a Logitech or a Thrustmaster wheel. And like I said, I do like Logitech and Thrustmaster products, but I think, you know, Fanatec is just a class on its own. Now, of course, this is 8mm. The higher tier wheelbases, like the podium version that Fanatec has, and you've got SimCubes wheelbases, those can go up to 20 Nm of torque, and that's going to be a lot of force feedback there. When I first drove this and I got into a wreck, I actually had to pull my arms back and like do, you know, how some of the drivers will cross their arms over their chest when they're spin out of control, because there's no way they're going to stop their wheel because it's going to break their arms. I immediately had to do that a few times when I first started doing this. Because it was, I was quite surprised by it. And I know that the 20 Nm ones, man, I don't know I don't know. Like, if it's gonna go somewhere, it's gonna go somewhere, no matter how much you're gonna try to put it. But that's why the podiums and the SimCube have like those emergency stop buttons for situations like that. So, you know, you can quickly push a button to stop the force feedback from going crazy and, you know, ripping your arms off. So that's my thing with the wheelbase. Now, the wheel itself, I got it separate. I bought it all together, but I didn't buy like a bundle deal. Like, you could see over here, CSL has like there is a bundle. I didn't get that because I didn't really like that wheel setup. I wanted something different. And then, of course, the DD Pro, their Gran Turismo wheel rim. It looks very toyish, you could say. And I wasn't like, if I was going from Thrustmaster to this, I wanted something to look more like a realistic wheel than that. I wasn't a fan of it, and I've been hearing a lot of reviews. It just looks like it's a smaller rim, and it looks like a toy, and so it's just not ideal. So I went ahead and decided to buy another rim. The rim, and it comes with a hub. The hub is the Club Sport hub. Now, I got a picture of the Club Sport hub. I bought it because actually I've been keeping all my boxes. And I tend to do that because I might be packing these things eventually, and I'm not moving anytime soon, so I'm just gonna put them in a closet. But here is what the hub looks like when it's not you know, put together with the wheel rim. So that's the universal hub. So that's how you're gonna get it shipped. And there's Finn sleeping. He's gonna bug me later because second dinner's coming up. And so the wheel rim I did get was the Club Sport steering wheel R3300, a V2, and I really like it. I was actually thinking about getting the NASCAR wheel, which you can see is actually right here. It's a bigger wheel. I think that's a 350 wheel, but I knew I wasn't going to just race NASCAR, and I was going to use this wheel for other styles of racing. So I figured, like, I'd get something smaller, and I think it just looks cooler. I like it's a leather feel. It's got leather on it, and of course the stitching looks really cool. Personally, I wish it was purple, but you know, because obviously, or green, but I do think this is a cool looking color. I like stuff that stand out. So this is one of those color that does stand out. And so the rim is just there, you know, it's just a wheel rim. But the hub is where, you know, everything happens here. So the buttons are customizable. In fact, I bought from Fanatec the button caps, and it has its own sticker. I actually bought this crew chief one is from Etsy. Sorry, I can't focus on that for some reason. That's from Etsy, and they wear out quicker. I didn't, because I had a radio button, and I kept using it obviously, and it just wore out like right away. So in the end, I just didn't really, you know, I knew once I found out Fanatec has their own buttons, I just use those, and I have so many of them that I use it between both wheels that I have. My other wheel I'll show later, which is the Formula V2 version. That will be shown in another video, my thoughts on that. But as you can see, it has this own little screen. I use this for gear. You know, it shows me what gear I'm in. But you can use it for multiple other things. You can get the speedometer, and of course you can change settings on everything. You know, so for force feedback or anything like that. Of course it has 12 buttons, and then it has this little rocker switch over here. You know, you can turn it, go up, down, left, right. That's really it on that. Not a whole lot on their end for it, but I mean, you don't really need a lot. It's so, well, you do and you don't in a sense. But as you can see, I don't have every button used yet. And then in fact, I have the up, down, left, right are for the black box when I need to move things and then look down on them. The left, right on this guy is for the, you know, for my first person camera mode, I guess you could say. I might actually switch that over and use the up, down, left, right for my view, and then just use this for the black box. I haven't thought of that yet. I'm thinking about it. We'll see how it goes. But, and then of course there's buttons up here. Like, I think you can use those buttons as well. In fact, here is their software you can use. So of course it'll show me what button those are. And then, so of course I'm pushing the top button right here, and it's showing, you know, that's where that one goes. You know, here's the 1 button, 2 button, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it shows you those modes and what you can do with them. The negative thing about this is I wish it had some more switches like the Formula 1 version, and I wish it had another item like this, because I think it would it could help, you know, because the one on my Formula 1 wheel, I use one for my, you know, moving my head, or the other for the black box, and to twist to you know, change settings. And I still have a ton of buttons over here. But I mean, for oval racing, for NASCAR oval racing, and I do fixed series, you know, there's not a lot to use. In fact, this is one I haven't even really used yet. It's the center VR. So whenever I eventually get to VR, I will use that button to center my body. Because if you just go from regular windows to VR, sometimes your view is like within your body. It's very weird. At least from my experience. But yeah, so yeah, that's the negatives. I mean, honestly, the only other negative I have about Fanatec is that you can only buy their items on their site. you can't go to Amazon or you can't go to any sim racing vendors to order these. I know like places like even SimCube and Huskveld and all those other bigger sim racing companies, they'll use other vendors. But for Fanatec, it's very just, one place, one stop shop. And I mean, that can be good and bad. Another negative is the configuration is kind of a little confusing. So when I went through here, I was kind of confused on how things work a little bit. I mean, it probably was just me because, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I know that, because the weird thing is, so this universal hub will not work on Xbox. So I got the non-Xbox version. It'll work on PC only. It will work on PC and PlayStation only. So I kind of have something that's not going to work on my Xbox or my PlayStation right now. And that's unfortunate. But it is what it is, I guess. I kind of wish they just made so here are the universal hubs. See, you can get, it's a $20 difference where you can get the universal hub, which is, I believe, see, they shouldn't call this one the universal hub, because it's not, because you can only do PlayStation and PC. Well, this one is the true universal hub for $20 more for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And that's on me for getting the wrong one. I thought, we'll just save $20, no big deal. But I think they should have just discontinued that. Just like I kind of wish, instead of just continuing with the CSL DD, you just discontinue it and just make the Pro standard. And I think that would have removed a lot of confusion on there, personally. Again, that's just my opinion. I still think Fanatec's a great company, and I really do like their products. I mean, I did get their pedals, and I got another wheel, and I've gotten a lot of their mods that came for the pedals. So clearly I'm kind of becoming a Fanatec mark. But they're still, it's not perfect. I mean, they're not perfect, but then again, I don't think any sim racing company is perfect, and I think that's the whole point, I guess. And of course, like I said, the software, you can program. They have their own software that makes it easy to program, that you can update the firmware of the items, and you can do what you need and help customize it as well. You can adjust the force feedback too. And you can also go into your game that you race on. For me, iRacing, they have a really good way to adjust the force feedback. I hear Assetto Corsa has a more in-depth, and it's way better. And then there are also third-party programs that can help too. But it's good to know that I can just go right in here and just make adjustments that I need for all of my equipment, all my race equipment. And for me, and like I said, Fanatec's going to be where I'm going to be for a while. Because I don't want to consider myself an advanced sim racer, because I'm far from it. I'm actually not the best driver right now. I'm trying to get better. If you've seen my POV races, or if you've seen my streams, you know what I'm talking about. But I would like to consider myself more intermediate, and I think the Fanatec equipment is just right where I'm going to be for at least several years. And I think that for a lot of people who really want to start getting into that, I would strongly suggest checking out Fanatec and start getting their equipment. Like I said, they're not cheap, of course, and if you can hold off on getting certain equipment, of course, you can always get the Thrustmaster TLCM pedals. At least get a load cell. If you're gonna hold off on getting pedals, at least get these for now. They'll be good for what you need for now. But of course, the second, the centermost item is the is the wheelbase, and I think Fanatec right now for intermediate drivers and above, it's where it's the sweet spot. So that's it for today. You know, I want to thank everyone who listened, and you know, I apologize for my babbling and my mix of words. Still trying to improve on that part. I do tend to have speech issues, and sometimes I can't think of what I want to say, even though I know the words, and it's difficult to pop out, and then sometimes my brain will just like bolt ahead before I can think of what to say. Yay, life of someone who's ADHD. What can I say? So next video will be next video I'm going to show I'm going to discuss about my Club Sport steering wheel Formula V2 and my thoughts on that one. And of course, I now have a Stream Deck 2, and I'll be discussing that. I got a new headset, and you know, like I said, it's just going to be various equipment items and what I feel about them, and if you should get them. So I appreciate your time, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys on another video, and of course, I'm streaming regularly on Thursdays. Not this Thursday because I'll actually be at a convention, but this Monday I'm actually going to be streaming a Final Fantasy run on Monday, and then on Sunday when I get back from our convention, Otakon, I'm gonna stream on Sunday evening, and I don't know what I'll be streaming. Well, it'll be of course be iRacing, but I'm not sure what. I think I might suck it up and do Indianapolis road course and see how that goes. But again, thank you guys. We'll see you all soon. Until then, take care.